When you're working with wood, a chisel is only as good as its edge, and that edge needs to be razor sharp. So if your chisel is dull, don't worry, sharpening it is easier than you think, and you can absolutely do it yourself. I'll talk you through how to sharpen your chisel using sharpening stones step by step. So grab your chisel and let's get started. Just about any sharpening stone can be used to sharpen a chisel, as long as it's flat and long enough to guide your strokes properly. That said, the grit size of the stone is something that does matter. So if your chisel has nicks or damage, start with a coarse stone, somewhere between 200 and 600 grit. This will help reshape and repair the cutting edge. Then you can move to a medium grit, usually between 600 and 1000 grit, to refine that edge and bring back that sharp feel. For most chisels, that's all you will need. You won't often need to go above 1000 grit, unless you're really chasing that ultra fine finish. There are sharpening machines for chisels too, but today we're just keeping it simple and sticking with sharpening stones. For most chisels, the sharpening angle should be somewhere between 25 and 30 degrees. If you're working with hardwood, then the angle should be a bit higher. And if you're working mostly with softwood, it can be a little bit lower. The easiest way to find the correct angle is to just follow the original bevel on the blade. Put the chisel flat on a stone and lift it until you feel the resistance of the cutting edge. That angle is usually the correct one, so it's a great guide. The most important thing is to stay consistent. If you can't hold the angle as you sharpen, you won't get a clean, sharp edge. Keeping this angle will take some getting used to, and if holding the chisel steady feels too tricky, you can consider using an angle guide. This locks the chisel so you don't have to worry about keeping the right angle. This is a water stone, so I have to make it wet before use and also keep it wet while sharpening. Place the bevel of the chisel on the stone, apply light pressure and move it smoothly across the entire surface of the stone. Try to use as much of the stone as possible so it wears evenly. More importantly, make sure you're keeping the angle steady. From time to time, you can check the flat side of the chisel for a burr. You can do this by gently running your fingertip against the edge. That burr is a good sign. It means you're removing material from the bevel and getting close to a sharp edge. Once you feel it, it's time for the next step. Now that you've created a burr, flip the chisel over and lay the flat side as flat as possible on the sharpening stone. Use the same smooth movement as before. This step removes the burr you created earlier, cleaning up the edge from the back. Usually 2 or 3 passes are enough here. Want to take your chisel to the next level? Then it's time to strop. Stropping removes tiny scratches and polishes the edge, giving you that razor sharp finish, which also gives the chisel more bite in the wood. Use a leather strop with a small amount of stropping compound and pull the chisel towards you, making sure that cutting edge doesn't dig into it. A few passes is usually all it takes to see and feel the difference. So how do you know if it's sharp enough? Just a couple of simple tests will tell you. You can try slicing through a piece of paper. If the chisel glides through it, it's sharp. Or you can test it on a piece of wood. It should cut cleanly without tearing or forcing it. If it's not quite there yet, just repeat the steps until you're satisfied, or use a finer grit sharpening stone to get a sharper result. Once you're happy with the edge, wipe the chisel clean and store it in a safe place. Speaking of storage, keeping your chisels sharp doesn't end with sharpening. It's also about how you store them. Always keep them dry, clean and protected. A chisel roll, a proper tool cabinet, or just the box it came in can keep your chisels organized and safe from damage. So that's it. With just a sharpening stone and a little patience, you can get your chisel back into top shape all on your own. Want to know more about sharpening your pocket knives, kitchen knives, scissors or fixed blade knives? You'll find more guides at knivesandtools.com.